Hi, today we shall review three books by Sudha Murty. Now, we all know that Sudha Murty is such a fine writer because her writing style is conversational and simple, easy to understand, and easy to relate to. Now, if you observe very closely around yourself, you are surely going to find some of the characters that are mentioned in these books. I highly recommend these books to the beginners or the new readers because of the writing style. Now, let us see the first book. The Mother I Never Knew is a story of two men on a quest to find their mother who they never knew. So, this book consists of two novellas, two different stories, but the theme is one, the same, that is on motherhood. The first story is of Venkatesh, who is a bank manager and gets transferred to Hubli, and upon going there finds out his look alike, and then he gets curious and he wants to dig deeper into the matter and finds out that an injustice happened in the family, whether knowingly or unknowingly, and he wants to repay his father's debt. The story shows that in spite of same kind of upbringing, how the siblings can have a completely different outlook towards life, and how conflicts and differences of opinion arise in the family because of different mindsets. The second story is that of a young man called Mukesh, who upon his father's death comes to know that he is an adopted child, and now he begins his journey, his search for his biological mother. And as he goes, he comes to know one truth after the other, and the more he understands, the more confused he gets as to where his loyalty should lie, with the mother who gave him birth or with the mother who raised him. Now, this story gives a very important lesson. Giving birth to a child is a biological event, but parents must move mountains to raise a child to become a good human being. So the stories are all about relationships, upbringing, family values, sacrifices, and Sudha Murty maintains an element of suspense and curiosity in both the stories, and I highly recommend this book because it's a wonderful read. The second fiction book is Gently Falls the Bakula. Now, this story is about a marriage that loses its way when one of the partners becomes over ambitious, and then there is a lack of communication, no listening happening in between the two. This is a very heart touching story of a lady called Srimati, and of her struggle to find her passion. This is a story of a woman whose sacrifices were just taken for granted, and in a way loses herself in the process of living the dreams of her husband. And later, when she looks back, she sees that her husband has climbed the ladder of success, but her life has become an empty nest. We find this character of Srimati in all the Indian women who give up their aspirations because of their husband's growth or family welfare. This novel was written in 1980s, that is 40 years back, and it shows the life of a woman during olden days, but the ending of this story is quite predictable in the current time. But back then, 40 years back, to take such a step was indeed a trendsetter. The writing style is so engrossing and the characters are explained so vividly that it goes easy to imagine the scenes and go with the flow. The message that this story gives is that for any relationship to flourish, it is so very necessary to value and give time to your partner, and also to have proper communication and listening in a relationship. The third fiction book is Bahu, which was written in 2007, and this is a story of how favoritism, greed, and comparison can cause a feeling of sadness among the family members. The plot is based in two countries, India and America, and it shows the difference in the value system and the difference in the culture in between these two countries. This is the story of a woman who, after her marriage, gets accustomed to the new family life in the in-laws house because of her loving and caring nature. And then there is her mother-in-law who subjects her to comparison all the time, and this mother-in-law is the one who values money more than the relationships. And then later in life, because of her experiences, she comes to know what is true wealth. It's a real eye-opener for her. The story of delicate relationships and how greed for money can corrupt the mind. So all these three fiction books, the plot is simple, emotional, got a touch of drama to hold the reader's interest, and these books can become an excellent read for the beginners. Do read them and kindly comment in the comment section what are your takes on these books.